After Image had been around a while, each founding member started his own imprint of the company to function as a cohesive unit under the larger Image umbrella. Wildstorm was Jim Lee's branch of the Image company, from which books like Stormwatch, Wildcats, and Divine Right were born. In 1999, Lee sold Wildstorm to DC and took on an editorial role at Wildstorm and its own various imprints, including Homage and Cliffhanger. Wildstorm has always been known for its action-filled, kinetic stories, but 1999 marked the beginning of a new phase for the line. Wildcats was revamped with a new series whose focus departed from standard superheroics to more realistic tales of espionage, corporate greed, and murder. Gradually, each book in the line began to take on more of this real-world approach to superheroes. Yet perhaps the most impressive move at Wildstorm involved one of comic books' most renowned writers. As you may recall from Chapter 4, Alan Moore redefined the comic book hero with his landmark series Watchmen, which many consider to be the crowning achievement of comic art. In 1999, having grown fed up with the state of comic books where decades of continuity and an emphasis on dark, grim characters had weighed the stories down and undermined the fun of reading them, Alan Moore decided to form his own line of comic books called America's Best Comics, and gave them a home at Wildstorm. ABC Books sought to return to comic books the level of optimism and delight present in the classic stories of the 40s and 60s. The books were usually lighthearted and accessible to new readers. At first glance, each of the ABC books seems to follow the guidelines of their respective genres, but Moore creates a unique twist on each of them, making them compelling reads for adults as well as teenagers and adolescents. These comics are among the finest examples of how brilliant comic book writing can be, and how strong collaboration with talented artists can produce works of fiction that have an aesthetic quality and charm that cannot be matched by prose. In recent years, Wildstorm has put out some of the smartest mainstream comics available, most of which would be equally at home on HBO or Cinemax. Many of them blend superheroics with hard-boiled crime drama or gripping science fiction. Of all the books under the Wildstorm banner, only Astro City adheres to the standard capes and tights superhero model, but the stories are so down-to-earth, often told from the everyman perspective, that even readers who've never touched a comic book before would enjoy them. Following in the footsteps of Marvel's Max and DC's Vertigo lines, in early 2002, Wildstorm created their own mature line of comics called Eye of the Storm. The line focuses on new as well as established Wildstorm characters, exploring diverse themes and issues. In addition, Eye of the Storm also provides for more experimental works like the bizarre Automatic Kafka. The recent emphasis on publishers developing mature content comic books isn't simply a matter of explicitness for the sake of shock value. The importance is much more a question of freedom of expression and of expanding the medium beyond the commonly held stereotypes. For too long, the mainstream has been held back by the notion of, you can't do that in comic books. What other medium has that mindset? Television, movies, and novels all have forums for more explicit content. Why shouldn't comic books?